Hi FlossTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Robin and this is my channel, Lady Robins. If you are interested, I'm on 2 social media platforms, so you can also find me on Instagram, same name, Lady Robins. Welcome, you guys, welcome back. I am so happy to see you. If you're a returning friend and subscriber, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're a new subscriber, welcome to my channel. This is where I talk about my love of my favorite hobby, which is cross stitch, and maybe a few other things thrown in. I actually recently bought an embroidery kit, so I'm going to share that with you. So anyway, but you know, 99.9% of this is going to be all about cross stitch, so we'll talk about that. Grab a beverage, sit back, relax, enjoy yourself. Let's just have a little chat about all things needle and thread, right? All right, I've got my coffee. We are in, where are we today? I think we're in Epcot, Paris. Yeah, there's the Eiffel Tower, Epcot, Paris. So, brewed coffee this morning. This is, I hate to confess, but this is leftovers from breakfast. I've just been wandering around the house doing stuff and thought, gosh, I need to grab my beverage. And I'm like, well, there's still half a cup of coffee. We'll go with the old stuff. So have a drink, sit back, relax. I'll share, you know, what I've been up to, what I'm currently stitching on, and then of course my plans. So we got a packed episode. Okay, grab your drink. Okay, even though it's old, it's still fine. Before we go any further, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, I cut my hair. I cut about an inch off my hair, and I had her put layers in it, so it looks a little different. I felt like I had to. I was changing the laundry back in the laundry room, and there was a big, huge puddle of water in front of my washing machine. I have a front loader, and yeah, my longer hair, all one length, apparently decided to plug the drain in my washing machine. And so I thought maybe shorter lengths would be better for the washing machine, and definitely better for spring and summer, right? Because who wants to mess with hair during spring and summer? I just want to go and stitch and, you know, be out in the garden just a little bit. I'm trying to get better about gardening, you guys. I have big plans. We have completely you know, removed old bushes in the flower bed right outside our bedroom window. So our focus this year is going to be replanting that. So we've got to start. It'll be fun to work on that transformation. Okay, so let's get to it. Should we start with FFOs? I have 3. I'm calling them FFOs, okay? Because the final bits need to be done by my crack team of framers here at Casa Schultz. Okay, but one that I have finished completely on my own without any help from the boys is this guy. This is the club kit from Silver Needle. It was the first one that came, and this is Circle of Friends was the name of this one. And so the kit came with the backing fabric, this beautiful red velveteen, and the Lady Dot chenille. And yeah, I got the thing done. It is on display out in my home. I really love it. Let me give you a close-up of that. And I glued the chenille. I glued the chenille onto the pillow. And boy, apparently I have lost my skills at gluing, because I had glue everywhere. My inner kindergartner did not come out to help. I had it everywhere. I'm not kidding. It was on my fingers. At one point, I got some right here. I don't know how I did it. I was able to wipe it off. You can't tell that I had trouble, but I don't like the look of chenille when you whip stitch it on, because it does leave little, you know, indentations, and no matter how much I scrub it with a toothbrush, I can still see them. So I like the final result of gluing, but apparently, you know, I'm gonna need a 6-year-old to come over and help me, because I had it, like I said, I had it everywhere. I even found it on my pants. So thank goodness it wasn't any bigger. Who knows where the glue would have ended up if there had been more time for me to spread it around. So anyway, that was again the club kit from Silver Needle, part of their A Little Help. I never get all the words right. A Little Help from Our Friends Club. And yeah, I've got my second one. I haven't started it yet, but that's on my list. Okay, so the next two finishes, fully finished objects. If you watch me on Instagram, you have seen these before, but I am thrilled to show you the finish. So the first up is the birth sampler for my great niece, and it's not attached to the frame yet, but I lace my pieces, and if I can get away with not trimming the fabric, I leave as much fabric on the back as I can, because who knows if somebody later on down the line is gonna want to, you know, change and update it, maybe put a mat on it. So I like to leave as much fabric back there as I can to give, you know, future people the opportunity to adjust and make changes. So stitching done by me, frame done by my husband and my son. So this is the Bee Birth Sampler by the Historical Sampler Company. They're in England, so I just bought a PDF and printed it out, and here we are. I didn't change anything on it. I went with the called for everything. The only thing I changed was this row, which we talked about excuse me, on my last FlossTube. So there we go. So that is FFO number 2. And then the third one, same thing here. I still need my workers to attach it securely to the frame, but here we are. No House Without a Mouse is done, and like I mentioned before, this is a gift, so I'm excited that this will be passed on, and hopefully it will be lovingly received. I'm sure it will be. Yeah. And then again, if you follow me on Instagram, I posted again the back of my piece where I do the lacing. I don't do pinning, and the reason I don't do pinning is I'll see if it'll show up here. I do basting. So I run a line of, you know, just straight stitches, and you can see I need to tug this before we frame it, so I can see if I've got a straight line, and that's what I use kind of as my guide to try to keep it as straight as possible when I'm doing my lacing. And I haven't pulled my basting stitch out yet, and I don't know if I will. It doesn't matter. It's completely covered up when I get it tacked into the frame, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, you guys, this is an old out-of-print Blackbird Designs chart called Without a Mouse. It's all stitched in DMC 310. So there is my third fully finished object for the month of March. I am really happy to have those done and off my plate. Like I said, my son and my husband will just have to, you know, do the point drivers on the side, and then we'll cover it with the craft paper, the brown craft paper, and then put the hanger on it, and it'll be done. So that part is on them. So I am calling them fully finished because my part of the gig is over. I'm really happy with how all of them turned out. It's really great. And then what's really cool is in my book of days, I keep a list of my whips, so I can actually, you know, cross off 2 things, because I didn't put down the the little birdie pillow because I had finished it. I just hadn't fully finished. But I have 2 things that are coming off my WIP list this month. So that means at the end of the month, instead of having 17 WIPs, I'll have 17 WIPs. Because I'll show you why in a second. I've got a new start planned, and I found out that I hadn't put my black work piece on my WIP list. So anyway, I'll still have 17 things, but that's okay. As long as it's less than 20, I'm good. I'd be even happier if I actually was down at 15, but you know, here's hoping, right? But there's always new things to stitch, so it's hard to keep the starts away, but that's okay. You know, all stitching is good stitching. So that's my FFOs for the month. I'm thinking for the month of March. I don't anticipate another FFO. I don't know if I'll have an FO. I can't think of anything I'm close to a finish on. So yeah, so we'll have to wait for FOs and FFOs. So finished objects and fully finished objects, in case you're new to all the acronyms, for April. Okay, so obviously I stitched on those. What else did I stitch on this month? Oh, I stitched on, let's just grab the WIPs and we'll go through them together. I stitched a little bit on my Ye Old Crow sampler by Heart and Hand. And I got, since last we saw it, I was able to finish, I think it was right in the middle of the S. So I have those 4 new letters done, and I'm right in the middle of the X. And then I'll get to move on to the Ye Old Crow. I'm gonna stitch the pumpkin in an orange color, and the vines I think I'm gonna stitch in a green, give it a little pop of color. So that will be fun. So there's WIP number 1. I had just a little bit of time to stitch on that. If I'm going someplace, you know, the ABCs always ring cross stitch. I like to grab a monochromatic piece, and so this is the piece that I took with me to an appointment a couple of days ago, and that's where I was able to get that stitched up. I'm actually going to look at my book of days because I'm like, what else did I stitch on? Oh, bunnies. I'm working on more chocolate bunnies by Hands-On Design. It's an older chart. It looks like this. Life needs more chocolate bunnies. And I've got the bunnies at the top done. I've got the life needs, and so I'm working on the more, which is right in the middle, this is adorable. Yeah, and this, I think, I never remember to tell you guys the fabric. So if you're looking at a fabric and thinking, Robin, I really need that fabric, reach out to me. I will look it up and tell you. But yeah, that's my progress on more chocolate bunnies. I probably won't have this done in time for Easter. That's okay. You don't have to have chocolate bunnies only at Easter. You can have them throughout the year if you can find them, right? Yeah, we have a few green belts around where I live, and we're always on the hunt for the baby bunnies. I have not seen a baby bunny yet. I'm thinking they must be coming soon though, because what's today? The 20th of March. They must be coming. They must be coming, those bunnies. So when we drive through the neighborhood or go for a walk, I'm like, did anybody see any bunnies? The only bunnies we're sighting around here right now are these stitched chocolate bunnies. Okay, so a piece, this is on my acrostic. My acrostic is I am working on Harbor Haven again. It's been a long time since I worked on this. There are 12 in the series. This is scene number 4, and I'm really super close to a finish, and I will show you where I'm at on that. So I was working on that last night. I'm stitching it on a 32 count fabric, and I just love the color. You know, when you haven't seen something for a while and then you break it out, you're like, oh, I really, really love this one. That's how I feel every time I break out Harbor Haven. So let me unroll it so you can see it from scene 1. So pull it back. So that's scene 1 through 4. And what I have left to do, I was working on, roll that. Okay, so scene 4 is kind of right between these 2 trees. So this is what I'm working on to finish up scene 4. So I finished up the petals, the tops of the trees. I guess that's a better way to say it. So I finished up the tops of the trees last night, and then I started putting in the bushes over here. And then these white spots are probably supposed to be like blooms on a plant. I haven't filled those in yet. There's a little more of the mountain over here, and then there's a cloud and 3 white birds. And so I will definitely have that finished by the end of March, and then I'll get to move on to number 5. I'm hoping by the end of 2023 to have completed through scene 6. That's my goal for Harbor Haven, and I think that's very doable. So I'm having a great time rediscovering my love for Harbor Haven. And yeah, this was a Sal. And when I think about it, like each one of those scenes was supposed to be completed in a month. There are some really, really good proficient stitchers out there in the stitching community, because man, I couldn't stitch it that fast. Despite wanting to, I just don't have that much time. I just don't stitch that fast. I don't know if we talked about it before. It just takes me forever, and that's okay. All stitching is good stitching no matter what your speed is, right? Yep, I think so. Okay, so Harbor Haven, I'm working on cardinal points. So let's show you where I'm at on cardinal points. I'm just thrilled with my progress on cardinal points. Oh, that is this guy. Gee, I think I know my project bags. Okay, that's in this project bag. Okay, so I've got an interesting thing to tell you also. So here is the chart for cardinal points. This is, of course, by Long Dog Samplers, and I am shooting for a finish by the end of the year on this one, and I think it's very doable, very doable. And I am stitching this on a 32 count white Lugana. And because I'm stitching this on white, and I know you've heard me say this before, but it's been a while, I'm just going to say it again. Because this is stitched on white, I'm like on year 4 of this thing. I know that I'm going to want to wash it when I'm done. And because of that, I have washed all of my Gentle Arts threads. It's all stitched in Gentle Arts sampler threads. And I'm to the point where I'm running out of the original batch of flosses I started with, and so I had to wash a few more that I'm running low on, and so I did that. And what I thought was interesting, and I'm hoping you'll find this interesting as well, I washed 10 flosses, and of the 10 flosses, 5 of them did not bleed. Okay, so I don't know if you need to know, but carrot didn't run, green apple didn't run, Highland heather didn't run, spring grass didn't run, and sugar plum didn't run. But I had 5 that did. And I think last time when I washed the floss, I only had 2 that ran. So this was what I felt to be, you know, quite a dramatic change. And I just wanted to alert you of that. So what ran for me was gold leaf, briar rose, which doesn't shock me at all, that, you know, that red, you know, pink azalea, so that pinky color, raven, and then last, sunflower. And so I know you're going to ask me, so I'm just going to tell you, how did I wash them? So I just, I took them off their little cards. I turned the water on, and I put it on kind of like a medium hot. And then I just held the floss under the stream of water in my kitchen sink. And I just, you know, I kind of ran my finger down it as it was under the stream of water. And then I got white paper towels, and then I would blot it. You know, I didn't twist it. I would just, you know, I would blot it all the way down, right? And then I would look at the towel, and is there any color on the towel? And if there was, then I'd go back and I'd repeat, you know, rinsing it under the stream of water. And then I just did that until when I blotted it on the paper towel, there was no color. That's what I'm doing. So I just, you know, even though it does say on the tag, it's color fast, right? I don't know if you can see that. You probably all have, you know, Gentle Arts in your stitching cupboards, but, you know, there's still, you know, the opportunity for floss to bleed. And I definitely do not want to wash this thing and have it turn into a gigantic rainbow. So, anyway, I just thought I would share that with you. So, you know, forewarned is forearmed, right? That's my experience with washing my floss. And I'm not, you know, and I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm just like, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I did that. Okay, so back to the stitching. What did I add this time? So what I have added is, I was down in this area. I know I added those 3 sets of leaves, and then I hadn't pulled this green outline all the way down. So I pulled that all the way down, and then there's all sorts of, I think of these as, I don't know, maple leaves or acorn leaves, or you know, some sort of leaves, right? So these, I had to fill in a couple of those, and then there's like little petals. Those had to go in. So I've actually gotten quite a bit done on my cardinal points. So it's coming, and I really do feel like I can get this completed by the end of the year, which is my goal on cardinal points. So thank you for that long TED talk on my cardinal points. Thanks for sticking with me on that. So yeah, there we are on that. And then after cardinal points, Harper Havens, bunnies, did the mouse, did the crow. Oh, I have one more thing that I stitched on, and I mentioned it last time. I was going to break out my peppermint purple black work piece, and I did that. And so I am, you know, this is a Sal, and I'm not exactly sure if I even know the year. It might be 2021, it might be 2019. I can't remember. But I am working on this, and this is why my whips are longer than I thought, because I had forgotten to put this on my list of whips at the beginning of the year. So I actually had to add it in. So that's why 17 goes to 17. because I'm going to give myself a new start. And thank you for those of you that reached out on my last video and told me what you thought my new start should be. I agree. I am going to start Hello Spring, that little kit that I showed you. I haven't started it yet. In fact, it would have been cute to have started it yesterday, which was the first day of spring, but I didn't get to it. But that's okay. That's all right. No shame in my game. But I'm going to start that this month. So that's my stitching. That's all my stitching. So my plans are, I need to finish my whip go and my across stick. So for whip go, for March, I've got, well, I've finished the first one. The first one on whip go was fully finished, a piece. And I've got 3, so I knocked it out of the park for that. And then the other call for whip go was stitch on a whip, and I've got that covered. Although I'm really saying the whip that I am stitching on for March is my black work, my peppermint purple sow. I want to get more done on that because it's been on the back of my mind that I really would like to do you know, a few more things than just cross stitches. So black work is a completely different type of stitching, but also fun stitching. So anyway, I gotta put a few more stitches in on that. And then on my across stick for our monthly magazine challenge, hi Carolyn if you're watching, I have almost completed it. So so for my the theme of bird's eye view, I put Harbor Haven, and my goal is 300 stitches. I think by the time I finish the birds and the clouds and the rest of that little hillside, that will be 300 stitches. So when I finish scene 4, I'll have done that. And I still need to work on Huckleberry Farm and Hyperborea and do my new start. So those are still pending from Magazine Monthly Challenge. It's only the 20th, you guys, so I have time. I don't feel rushed or panicked or terrified that I'm not gonna reach my goal. So that's kind of my goal of what I want to cross stitch. Now, I want to show you, I went down to Acorns and Threads last week with my girlfriend Lynn, and hi Lynn. We had a really great time. We saw Anna and Margaret and all sorts of folks. Saw, of course, Janine. So hi friends. We had a great time. I did not pre-order anything at Market. I just was like, I'm just gonna wait. It'll all be available. Let me tell you, I got down there and I saw the stuff and I didn't go completely crazy, so the wheels only half came off the bus. So I want to show you the few things that I picked up at Market, down at Acorns and Threads, and I do have a few things on order because they had already sold out. But, so I picked up some vintage country mocha fabric, which I always need, and I did pick up a few new floss colors. And so I got the new Weeks, and this is Cardinal. Nice kind of red, but with a little more brown in it. This one is Grassland, which I think is beautiful. A nice kind of, you know, almost beigey white. This is called Queen Anne's Lace. I really liked that. And then I saw Goldenrod by Gentle Arts, and so I picked those up. So I thought those are 4 really nice colors to add to my stash. So I got those. And then for charts, what I was able to take home with me, I picked up Lindy Stitch's Let Every Creature. And this is kind of the companion piece to her beachcomber that she designed for Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit last year. And I just loved this. So I picked that up. I'll have to find a time to add that as a new start. I picked up Frosty Frill, sorry, by Heart and Hand. We all love those tiny towns. The the Frosty Tiny Town was sold out, so I've got myself on the list for that. Then I stumbled across a shepherd's bush kit, and this is for a scissor fob. And let's see, this is called Heart and Hand Fob. Look at that. And so it's got the fabric, it's got the rickrack, it's got the needles and the beads. So yeah, and of course the floss. So I picked that up. I'm really looking forward to doing that. Couldn't leave Queen Bee behind by the October House. Couldn't leave behind Bent Creek. Oh my goodness. Moonlight Berry Sampler. Pretty. And then as I was pretty much heading out the door, and Margaret was stitching on Spring Pairs 4 on this wonderful green fabric. Yeah, thanks Margaret. Thanks Margaret for the enabling. I can't wait to do those. So that will also have to be factored into my rotation. So that's what I was able to go home with. I do have, what is it? The Pollinators by the Blue Flower on order. Like I said, the Frosty Tiny Town. And I might have asked them to put the Garden Box by Jeanette Douglas on my list. So speaking of Jeanette Douglas, there was a corner gauge that was from Jeanette Douglas, and I just thought it was adorable. And so I love me a good corner gauge, so I picked that up. And speaking of Jeanette Douglas, my girlfriend Lynn and I have decided that we have so many Jeanette Douglas charts. We're gonna get together either once a week or once every 2 weeks, starting in April, to stitch on Jeanette Douglas. We're gonna get together. We're gonna have a Jeanette Douglas day, and I'm not sure, but I think we both are gonna start European Christmas. I bought this at the Jingle Ball, so I've got it on PDF download. I've ordered the box. That's coming in from an Etsy shop. However, Janine at Acorns and Thread also is carrying the boxes, so you can contact Janine. And then a couple of trips ago down to Acorns, I picked up a finishing kit for the European Christmas box. So I've got this ready to go. I just need to get my fabric, pull my floss, and I know that there was, I don't know, somewhere down here, somewhere, is it this? Yes. I also picked up this. It's the specialty floss kit, also at Acorns, for the European Christmas box. So that's going to be a new start for me in April, starting working on Jeanette Douglas. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. Oh, and then the other thing I picked up, apparently I really did order it, is the finishing kit for the Jeanette Douglas garden box. So I apparently have that on order too. All right, now for something completely different. I went to, I almost said Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. That's not where I went. I went to the Sewing Expo here in Washington. It's in Puyallup. It happens once a year, and it's just full of just all sorts of, you know, sewing machines and sergers and long arm quilts and shops, fabric shops, quilt shops, wool applique, Japanese fabrics. I mean, just everything, right? And I ended up wandering into an embroidery booth, and they were actually also at the Seattle Flower and Garden Show. So I've been in their booth twice. This time I went nuts, and I bought this embroidery kit. You guys, it is so cute. There is a lily. We're making a lily pad pond. And this is by M Creative J. You can find her on Instagram. She's also on YouTube. There is a tutorial showing you how to make all of the embroidery stitches to complete this pond on her YouTube channel. And she also had a book. Everything in there is just amazing. Amazing. So I might be going down a bit of an embroidery rabbit trail here really soon, because I am just completely intrigued and fascinated by what I'm seeing in embroidery. I follow a lot of people that do embroidery on Instagram, and it's kind of ringing some bells for me. So you might have to see me working on my first little embroidery piece, which if you're in the Seattle area, Camp Craftaway is being held in my area. It's in West Seattle, August 2nd through the 4th. And this gal, her name is Melissa. I think it's Galbraith, Galbraith. She's going to be there, and she's going to be teaching classes. So you can already register for Camp Craftaway. There's one fee just to register for the event. And then if you want to tack on classes, then those would be additional tack-ons. But I am seriously considering going to this as well. So I just thought I'd mention that in case that is something you'd be interested in learning as well. So that's all I've got to show you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope I enabled you a little bit and inspired you. Tell me what would you stitch on first? If of all of the things I showed you, what rung your bell? I am curious. I would love to hear from you. I always enjoy our time together, and I again appreciate all of you telling me what piece to start in March. I am following your advice. I'm starting New Spring, the little kit I showed on my last FlossTube. So hopefully when we have another FlossTube visit, I will show you a start on that. So I'm gonna get out of here and let you move on to your next FlossTube. I appreciate you all being here at my channel. If you haven't had the opportunity to subscribe, would you please do that? Like the video if you liked it. I hope you did. All right, I will see you all next time. Stitch happy, my friends. Have a great rest of your day and your weeks, and I'll see you in a few. Okay, bye.